everybody, I am doing my presentation on Scholes Library of Ceramics at Alfred University. The reason why I chose this library is because I worked there for several summers as a student assistant, and I also worked there temporarily as a reference assistant for the evenings and weekends. It's a very small library in Alfred, New York. It's in a college town. There's two colleges there, Alfred State College and Alfred University. So that definitely plays into the atmosphere a lot. Alfred University serves 2,000 to 2,200 students, depending on enrollment. It fluctuates a bit. It's also near Houghton College, which I should have mentioned earlier. There's a strong focus on being green and sustainability at the college. There's a lot of clubs that are really big into recycling and using the things that people throw out at the end of the semester. There's just a lot of focus on that. There's also a renewable energy camp for high school students, which I think is actually going on right now. If it's not going on right now, then it's starting here in a couple of weeks. And I think that's very well attended. Alfred University is also the home of the Emory School of Engineering, which I don't know if any of you that have science backgrounds have heard of that. I guess it's very important in the engineering and ceramics world. In doing some of the research for this project, I also discovered that Alfred University, their engineering department, work with TAM Ceramics, and I'm not really sure how they pronounce that, but EN Energy, maybe, Corporation, on thermoelectric devices, which I guess that plays into developing more energy-efficient cars, more fuel-efficient cars. Let's see, and Alfred University regularly contributes to the American Ceramics Society. In fact, recently 4 Alfred University students presented papers at the American Ceramics Society annual meeting. That was in May. It was 4 students. Their names were Robert Koch, Cody Bornstein, Karen Bond, and Rohil Dangle, which I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing those right. I didn't actually know any of these people, but I've heard their names. I work with some of their friends. But these were on things like structure, terahertz properties in tellurite glasses, things like that, really scientific sounding things. So I know that a lot of people that attend the engineering programs and the ceramics programs end up working at places like Corning, and even I've heard stories about people ending up at NASA and things like that. So I guess it's a very big deal program. Let's see. Oh, also, Alfred University collaborates with Corning Incorporated, and they created what is called the Ceramics Corridor, which I guess, let's see, I gotta find my spot in my notes here. Oh dear. Okay. Which I guess is according to Wikipedia, a high-tech incubator project designed to take advantage of emerging ceramics industry and to create new jobs. I guess it's the only major industrial development project centered in a rural area in the United States. That's also from Wikipedia. Okay, moving on. In the Scholes Library serves the art and design community at Alfred University as well as the engineering community. Between art and design and engineering, there's 631 undergraduates and 67 graduate students. I think, my best estimation, I think that the engineering and science portion of what Scholes Library serves is probably less than 100 students, and I think that I'm even rounding up a little bit with that one. Usually we have around 5 or 10 doctoral students. I think there was 11 or something like that last year, and not more than 4 or 5 the year before. I have gone to a couple of their doctoral dissertations, their thesis defenses, and those are always very, very fun to attend. Let's see. Okay, the Scholes staff, they're actually spread a little thin right now. They've only got one person for just about everything. There's one cataloger, one person who manages all of the serials, one ILL person. There's two librarians. There used to be three or four. Even since I've been there used to be four. One of them is an art librarian and a general reference librarian mixed in with that, and the other one is pretty much strictly science and ceramics and engineering. There are two people who work in the visual resources department doing things with the slide library and the slide collections, as well as all of their online digital repository images. There's also another support staff person, and of course the director. Okay, the information that I found online, which is about what I remembered from working there, was that the library houses 70,000 books and 37,000 bound periodical volumes. So that would be, Journal of the American Ceramic Society, Science Magazine, and things like that, and 170,000 slides and images. The collection includes things like artist catalogs, theses, regular books, tons and tons of different kinds of art periodicals. There's all sorts of weird stuff up there, which doesn't really float my boat, but I guess it's very heavily used. So there's things like mixed media periodicals and photography periodicals, and there's science periodicals, as I mentioned before, ceramics and engineering, and there's also a bit of astronomy stuff and math stuff, and a little bit of technology, as well as very, very, very outdated technical reports. Since I've been there, I think that I've seen the technical reports being used once or twice, so they're not very widely used. They're very old, from the 50s to maybe the 80s. I think that they've actually been archived in the past year or so, so they're not out for public use anymore, which is good because it's a better use of space. But okay, so the interesting fact that I discovered was that in just 12 years, from 1947 to 1959, the first librarian of Scholes, who was recruited by Samuel R. Scholes, her name was Emily Van Schoik, I guess. She took the library from 1,200 volumes to 14,000 volumes. She had been the editor of the American Ceramic Society Journal previously. And that was just really awesome because she didn't seem to have much more background in the sciences than that, but she was still able to really develop something that's widely used and internationally recognized. People from all countries use some of our resources, their resources, through interlibrary loan and such. And of course, there's my citations. So that's a little bit about Scholes. I don't think that I missed anything, but if you have more questions, you can definitely feel free to ask me. Thank you!